Hey everyone, it's Be Divine. Welcome to Divine Miracles. Thank you so much for joining me. And I wasn't going to do a video today because I had something funky to eat yesterday, I think, and I had a bit of food poisoning all night, or at least those kinds of symptoms. Maybe I was just getting rid of stuff, who knows, but you know how it is. It kind of like, ugh. So anyway, I decided that I would make a video because I got a beautiful gift. From Karen T. She loves to send me things. And she sent me the Myths and Mermaids Oracle of the Water with Jasmine Beckett Griffith as the artist. And you may recognize that from the Shapeshifters Oracle. She's done quite a few oracles now. So cute. So I want to have a look at them. And she also sent me the Whispers of Healing cards, which are gorgeous. Josephine Wall, you know her beautiful drawings. So we'll have a look at them as well. All right, so hopefully you guys are okay. It's getting to the point now where some people are doing some ridiculous things, like traveling when they shouldn't be and not practicing, staying at home and all of that kind of stuff. And we knew that was going to happen as well. So it's kind of delaying things a little bit for all of us who are doing the right thing. If we just stay at home when it's going to get cleared up, I mean, there's nobody to infect, then there's nothing can go around, right? I'm going to be talking with you guys on Saturday, and Bobby as well, my husband, is going to join. We're going to be talking about all different kinds of things, and also, do some meditations and, have a look at some different things and chat with you guys. I'm also holding another webinar. This one's on dragon energy. You guys have been wanting the dragon stuff, so I'm going to do a different one on dragon energy. This is part 1. It'll be the 18th of April, plenty of time to save up. And I'll leave the link for you to register. If you've already registered before, you should automatically receive an email in the next couple of days about it. And you have plenty of time to decide whether this is something that you want to do. It's going to be very intense, and part 2 is going to be working with dragons and dragon healing. So I'm going to introduce a little bit of that in part 1. It might be something that you decide that you want to work with online with people. It can be done over the phone, just as powerful. So it's just a little thing, addition to your toolkit, at the same time receiving a lot of information about dragons themselves. So I really, really want to I'm looking forward to doing it. Okay, so that'll be on the 18th of April. But this one on Saturday, this is free. This is for everybody, as many people as I can get to come and sit with us on Saturday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. All right? Awesome. Let's get started with these cards. All right, Myths and Mermaids. I don't know them very well, so we're going to look at them together. What does everybody need to know, mermaids? The energy of mermaids is very soft, and there's a lot of different myths about mermaids as well, but these ones are just very, very soft and gentle for us. Okay. Here it is. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's actually sideways. That's how it's supposed to be. Big blue whale. Oh, nothing to worry about. Every time I see the whale, it's in my tea leaf cards and in tea leaves when you do readings with them. Or if you see a whale, it means big worry over nothing. Okay, let me read this to you. It's beautiful. There's a little poem first. So with you by my side, O benevolent beast, I'll always be mighty and strong. Your manner so docile, your body colossal, your great weight and force, keep me swimming on course, embracing the sea with your song. A mermaid swims close beside an enormous barnacle-encrusted blue whale. In spite of the creature's impressive side, the mermaid shows no fear, indicating the pair are close friends. This gentle giant clearly means her no harm. So the message for us all is using your power gently. The blue whale is the largest creature known to man, with an inconceivable amount of physical power. Just the same, she is no monster, but rather a gentle giant worthy of respect and admiration. As you discover your own sources of personal power, do not forget to maintain your loving disposition and use your strength to protect the less fortunate. Only the weak are cruel. The kind and gentle will always be the truly strong. So lately your meekness has become your weakness. You're being too passive and submissive, letting too many life opportunities slip by. It's time to embolden yourself and focus on using your strengths to the utmost potential, even if doing so feels impertinent. Remember, you are your own advocate and you have the right to stand up for yourself and do what needs to get done. And that's the thing. Sometimes people, take someone else's kindness for weakness, and take advantage of the situation. And, it's a big thing because sometimes we who are out there trying to help people, which is in whatever capacity you're doing it, that's exactly what we want to do. We want to help everybody. And there are people out there that push the boundaries and, take too much. And of course, we don't want to upset the apple cart, so we don't say anything, or we don't want to come across as being too bold, or we don't want to come across as, being nasty or something. So basically what we're saying is that we want to help, but, we don't want to stick up for ourselves if we need to, just in case people don't like it. And that's the sad thing, because it happens to me a lot as well, I don't want to say anything sometimes, or, sometimes there'll be a message for me and it will be annoying to me, and I just don't answer it because I don't want anyone to get upset with me, Occasionally I have answered it and then I've regretted it and I'm like, oh, I should have left that for the next day when I wasn't feeling cranky right before a new moon or something like that. But then I feel a bit bad, like if I've actually asserted myself or, someone's crossed a boundary with me and I say something, then I feel bad. So we can't do this anymore. There's a lot of things that we're learning about ourselves and where, we feel like everybody else comes first as well, and where we are putting responsibilities on ourselves that are far too great and then becoming frustrated with it, So don't be too passive and too submissive and letting things pass you by because it's not the right timing, or I don't want to upset everybody by doing that. It's time to really, as we're getting, we're all inside, we're all staying home, we're all doing this, as best we can. Now is the time to really focus on what it is that you've been wanting to do for some time and bring it out, And that's why I offer, these webinars. This is something I've been wanting to do for a super long time and haven't done it for whatever reason. And now it's here as I move into teaching you guys more. So you're your own advocate. You have the right to stand up for yourself and do what needs to be done. And you can still have a gentle heart and a loving spirit. And basically, no matter what you do, there's always going to be someone there that kind of doesn't like it anyway. So are you going to let that ruin your whole life? It's time not to. Really focus on what your worries are. Are you worrying over big things, over nothing, in big ways? And that's what you're being asked. Okay, those are beautiful little cards. Maybe let's just do one more of these. So, haven't seen Steve the squirrel for a couple of days. So he's hiding somewhere. There was a big hawk around not so long ago and a dove in the front yard. Fortunately copped it. So maybe that's why. Oh gosh. Okay, let's have a look at this. Oh my, see? Is this in tune with what's going on with us or what? Stranded. This is where we are. We're stranded on an island. Oh gosh. Okay, 38. Okay, so for the solitary seafarer, the time has come to weep, longing empty yearnings for her dreams dreamt dark and deep. For lonely lamenting, she aches to close the gap she keeps, remembering a loved one as she's drifting off to sleep. Slipping into nothing, an oaken, gnarled embrace, listlessly awaiting the sun's illustrious face. Along on an island's swiftly shrinking space, she is stranded, alone, afraid, and in disgrace. Okay. Alone and stuck in a gnarled tree on a deserted island, a melancholy mermaid stares into the distance, oblivious to the sunset rising behind her. She is pale and lost in reverie. She is isolated and lonely, but why? You may feel deserted, but it is a self-imposed isolation. What you see as rejection is all in your mind. Others are not avoiding you. You're not avoiding them, preemptively preventing them from rejecting you. It's not healthy to avoid relationships and interactions for fear of losing a loved one or becoming embarrassed. It's time to step off the island you've created for yourself and join the rest of us. Make contact with a friend you've been avoiding. Go back to the classes and meetings you bowed out of, and wisely invest in new modes of communication so you can talk once again with the world. The world is waiting for you. It's up to you to take the first step. So it says here, grant yourself a timeout. Take some time to be alone. Well, hello. Turn off, tune out, and find solitude. There's too much background noise in your life. You'll never hear the whispers of your heart's desire or the beating of your own drum if you fill your life with the sounds of meaningless chatter and electronic hums. So it's basically saying if you're distracting yourself, from your own path and from other people, for whatever reason, that now is the time that you embrace all that you are. Really take a look at things, We're all isolated, as we said. Many people have got family far away. My two sons, my youngest boys are in Australia. I'm here in Colorado. Bobby's sons are in Texas. And we're just like, we have Corey with us, thank goodness. And it's like a whole new world, because whereas before it's like there's a relaxation where you can think to yourself, well, we can contact them, or we can go see them, or we can do whatever we want to do, we can save up for it, And now it's like, now we can't go anywhere. And Australia might be actually shut down for 6 months or so because people are really not practicing COVID-19 safety regulations very well. So anyway, it's a matter of getting in touch with people that you've been meaning to get in touch with. I heard from somebody I hadn't heard from in 2 years just this morning, so this makes sense to me. And I've have people just bailed out of your life for, whatever reason, or have you felt like, I don't think I can contact them anymore, or what is it? We need to stick together, and we need to stay in touch. Just check in with somebody. How you going? Is everything okay? Kind of thing. And I know I've got friends that are like, yeah, well, I haven't heard from you in ages either. I do check in with them with messages, but we haven't called in a while. And then, just having time to do it, or making time to do it. For me, with working with all you guys and being at home, it's still the same for me. I still have to finish a lot of work, during the day, and keep on top of messages and keep on top of study. Also, I'm doing a lot of study behind the scenes so that I can then teach you guys. And that's just me. I love to study. I'm a bit of a old school bookworm, But if I didn't do it, then you guys wouldn't learn stuff either, on some level. So even though we feel stranded, we feel beached. That's funny, we had the beach whale, the whale and the other one. And we feel stranded. We're not completely alone, okay? It's easy to give in to fear right now, but you're really asked not to. Do not give in to fear. It's not going to help anything, It's not going to change anything. It's probably going to make things worse. It's not going to give you a desired outcome. And thinking of all the worst case scenarios is also not helping anyone or anything. We're all going to come through this together, okay? And yes, people are going to go. But this percentage of people in the world that have this and have actually passed from this is very tiny. We have to remember that as well. Okay? All right. So let's move on to, let's see what these other cards are. So remember, those were the myths and mermaids. And now we have the whispers of healing cards. Again, I never saw these cards before, but I do know this author. Well, this artist, I should say. And that's kind of like what? Look at that. It's kind of like what Mother Gaia looks like. Okay, what do we need to know? Now, until the 7th of April, all of my prices are half price. After the 7th, they're not going to go back to a normal price. I'm going to keep them reduced, okay? All right, let's have a look. Oh, nice. Sincere relationships. Look, we're just really getting told. Reach out to people, right? So bring your awareness to the people you surround yourself with. Toxic associations can create stress, sadness, apprehension, and other negative emotions. It is important that you're honest about how you feel about your most significant relationships. This is not limited to romantic relationships. It may include an employer, a family member, or a friend who has a lot of influence in your life. Consider whether a relationship is causing you unnecessary stress. Is your social life a source of negativity? This exercise is not about blame. You're simply deciding how your various relationships affect your emotional energy. If there's tension in a relationship, try having a healthy conversation with the individual involved. Take responsibility for your role in this situation, but be clear on what it is that you want as an outcome. Examine how you relate to the people who you meet. Having healthy relationships brings more health to your life. If a relationship is sincere, the communication is relaxed, there's honesty, both parties feel empowered, and your life is truthfully better with this person in it. Two nature pixies hug as they look out over a beautiful landscape that is both snowy and filled with flowers. Strong relationships are not seasonable or available only when it's convenient. When you are in ideal relationships, you can find the beauty, grace, and charm of the people you are with. The butterflies fluttering around the flowers indicate you are more than capable of making the changes needed to create loving and positive relationships. The flowers represent blessings, protection, and potential growth for all involved. The bird is a messenger. There is a situation before you that needs to be met head on. You deserve to have relationships that are loving and supportive of you. Having sincere, optimal relationships will be much healthier for you in the long run. You know, nobody needs to put up with any kind of abuse either. And, over the years, I've put up with abuse with different people in different situations and just put up with it and just deleted or whatever. And sometimes there's things that people that push the boundaries because they're going through something themselves, and I can understand that as well. But we really need to have people around us now that there isn't any triggering of anxiety around, that they're not making us feel anxious in any way, that we don't dread it if we, hear from them or like, oh gosh, I have to put up with this. And sometimes that has to do with family members, right? If we're honest, family members, at some points can can just be set in their ways, you know, and want things a certain way, and perhaps not understanding of how things are now, etc. So there's also sometimes where you have a false relationship, and so you need to be careful of the sarcasm and the little dig here and there, like the little, you know, you know what I mean. Just the way in which things are worded, directed at you, or laughing at you, or sarcastic of you and your situation. Everything should be supportive. And if not, it is time to reevaluate who you spend your time around, or who you allow into your life and into your circle. Sometimes it's easy from a distance, like say if someone else is going through something, you're like, oh my God, no, it's time to cut that off. It's easy when it's not you, but when it's in your life and it's your situation, there's so many worries that, you know, you may hold within yourself, like, again, not wanting to upset, not wanting to upset someone into a point where they're abusive, or you don't want to be triggered, or you just want to rather let it go, you know, but then it comes back again. So we are really faced with a lot of things or habits that we do in our life, ways in which we put ourselves last, ways in which everybody else's comfort is, you know, more important or just easier to deal with. Really have a look at these things in your life, because you'll find that part of these things or little habits that you do out of the goodness of your heart, you end up being resentful about. Because if people continually take advantage of you, you're going to get resentful of it. And then, why is the earth, you know, why is the universe punishing me with all this? Well, it's not. You're punishing yourself, and you have been. Why can't I get past this? You know, well, you let it happen. So you have to admit those things, you know. For other people, there is this sense that there's a closer connection between you and like-minded people now. And it's really important that you keep your tribe around you, the ones that are on the higher vibration, the ones that are on this journey. Yes, we need to help the people who are worried and scared and frightened and all of that, but we have to teach them how to rise up. And it's up to them to do it. It's not up to us to do it and lead them by the hand and take them with us, because they're going to have to want to do the work. There's no magic wand in spirituality. Here you go. Put the magic wand on you. Now you're all enlightened. Enlightenment is within you. It's up to you to accept it. Then you can move to the next levels, right? And we just all need to stick together right now, understanding that everyone's going through this in their own way. And believe me, I'm not giving up. I'm going to be here, whether I feel unwell or not. I'm going to be here, right? Pretty much every day. And away we go. So if you're having issues with something, or you would like a healing session, or whatever it is, you want to have some spiritual therapy, you know, get in contact, and we will set up some time to talk, okay? But until the next time, wishing you all safety, happiness, many, many blessings, and see you on Saturday. I'll put the link below for the Dragon webinar. You can read more about it, decide whether you want to do it, and it won't be seen on YouTube. This is something separate. But Saturday will be free for all, okay? So until the next time, many blessings, and bye for now.